Back in the lab, cooking it up in the kitchen. Got a little bit of cleaning up to do first thing this morning before I can start not really tearing anything apart. Today is going to be wire management and the like, um, mainly engine bay. There's a lot of, I noticed when I started putting things back together, I didn't connect a single ground anywhere. So I need to kind of see if the wire memory on the harness can kind of point me in the right direction of where grounds need to go and put them where they need to be. And another thing that I noticed, made this bracket probably about a week ago now. Very rough draft. This is obviously very tight, and as I stated when I put the intake on, I'm gonna have to move it back eventually because this radiator I really don't think is gonna cut it. We'll need a bigger radiator. With this, it's actually too close. I don't know why, but I thought the plug for the MAF was facing down, but it's facing towards the radiator, so it's even too close as is, and I need to kind of push this back. As you can kind of see, I pointed this out when I put this in. I ended up cutting a couple inches off of this so that I could have clearance for an air filter with the tub being here. And when I put this bracket in and cut that, you can see I pulled some deflection out of the boot and it's pulled towards the core support. So I need to make it longer and kind of correct the angle here. I think even just doing that and correcting my angle, I'll pull enough distance between the radiator and the MAF to at least be able to plug it in for now. And then ideally I won't have to make another bracket, but it's not like making a bracket is a super tall order. So yeah, I guess that's it for describing what I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully I keep it to just that and I'm not bouncing around between 12 different things like I have been in the past. But yeah, I'm going to move some stuff out of the way and get after it. All right, I got a couple super small things out of the way. Just I kind of moved things around and immediately got into it. That would be, I'm going to toss at least one more on just to tuck it out of the way that much more. The clip for the throttle cable that holds it onto the brake booster broke, so zip tie. And I'm going to toss another one, at least one more somewhere around there just to get it that much more out of the way. Got this little clip for my brake lines, and there's a larger hole on the bottom of that as well for my clutch line. Once I get that run, that'll keep everything from rattling around too bad up here. I need to do one more down in there. I'll probably just end up running a couple of these little clips like so into that existing bracket on the firewall. Got a couple other hose clamps and these, I can't remember what you call these clips. Is this a Corbin clip? I think it is. Whatever these hose clips. Got all those. It was pretty much just the vacuum line for the brake booster, but all those are good now. And aside from that, next thing is this section of the harness here, which this goes to the plugs in the transmission, so reverse, and I'm pretty sure this gets speed off of the transmission, so that would be vehicle speed as well, and starter, alternator, and that's pretty much everything that's over on the cold side, electrically speaking, I guess. There's a couple things, like I said earlier, there's some grounds that I need to sort out. There's that tiny one right there hiding under the harness, and this one here, this comes right off the fuse box, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's coming right out of the fuse box. And that should be it for this side, aside from obviously this looks horrible, so I need to figure out something with it, even really just pushing the fuse box into the corner some more and trying to hide this stuff. And then we'll jump over to that side. Over here, I do have a little bit of more reading to do. I need to figure out what pins out of the, where it connects right on the inside of the firewall here. It goes through right there into where the kick panel is on the bottom of the A-pillar. There's plugs for where the engine harness connects to the body harness right there. And I need to see exactly what this is, because this is 3-prong female and my O2 is 3-prong male in the same style. but that obviously doesn't reach. So if that's for O2, then I'll need to extend one or the other so that it does connect. And then the power steering and AC bracket. So I think the top is AC and the bottom is power steering. Maybe it's the other way around. This car, when I picked it up, it didn't have power steering on it, and this is the first S13 I've worked on, so I don't totally know. But either way, that bracket can go as far as I'm aware, and I need to figure out an idler pulley of some kind for my water pump, or try and space out the pulley somehow for the alternator, or recess the pulley for the water pump so I can just run one belt for the only three things I have is the balancer, water pump, and alternator now. That's belt driven. So if I could figure that out, that'd be cool. Another thing over here is this guy right here. I believe, from what I understand, the power steering, obviously it's mechanical power steering, belt driven, so there wouldn't be a plug for on or off. But I believe that there's a plug that comes up under the rack, and it senses when, if you're just at idle in a parking lot trying to turn the wheel, the pump will tell that it's not sending enough pressure, or the rack will be able to pick up that there's not enough pressure going through, and it'll kick up the idle on the engine so that you get more pressure through your power steering lines and you're able to turn it at standstill. If that's what this is, it can go. And then I need to figure out, there's a couple more things, a couple more lights that I need to figure out and plug in. Okay, if you know more about these than I do, you've probably already yelled at me through your phone already, or whatever you're watching on. Right here, that's the O2 plug. And this, I'm not sure how I got in this situation. I got the headers for free from a buddy. I'm not sure how they made this work, because that's a male plug, and that's a male plug. And if I look up on, obviously, Rock Auto for O2 sensor, I need to get this fiberglass wrap out of here. I'm going to do that before I go any further.
Oh shit, Bo's getting in the driveway.
That is all cleaned up now. Well, for the most part, it's still hiding out in some little crevices, but for the most part, the fiberglass is cleaned up. That sucks, and I itch everywhere. O2 sensor is obviously out, and it's over on the bench. I'm just gonna order that one from Rock Auto that has the correct, just the single spade connector. Toss that in there, and I got the math all situated as you saw. I just kind of repurposed. I guess not repurposed because it's serving the same purpose, but made that bracket work to have it set off. Got the angle correct coming off the pipe instead of pulled way over towards the core support there. Also, this I found out is not power steering. This is for the charcoal canister, which obviously, and like I in the video where I went through the manifold and got rid of all the extra stuff there, all my evap stuff is gone. So this can be cut. I'm not going to yet. Like I'm pretty sure I said it already. I don't want to cut anything until this runs correctly because I would hate to cut something and then throw it away and end up needing it. So we're going to hold off on cutting things, just tidying things up for now. Ignition coil, repurposing a bracket that I'm pretty sure it came with that fuel pressure regulator over here. We'll head over to the bench. So here it is. It's not perfect. That obviously that hole doesn't need to be nearly as big as it is, and I got to bore these out a little bit. I don't think I want to keep going up in size. I'll probably just do the wrong thing and make them like elliptical holes with a drill bit, just kind of running it on the side. And this will kind of sit on the bottom of the ignition coil. I don't have enough hands to do it, but basically that's where it's going to live. Call that good enough for right now. I'll dive back in a little bit, but we're gonna put the car down on the ground and push it out of here so that we can do some RC drifting in the garage. Pretty good.